Welcome back. So remember, we talked about the diaphragm and how to treat it with your fingers. It's such an important area, the diaphragm. We talked about how um, the diaphragm is responsible for your breathing, but also restrictions in that area. And let me point my camera here, just underneath your ribs in this area on the top of your abdomen can create problems such as digestion, anxiety, feeling those knots in the stomach where you just cannot relax. So, I wanted to go back into actually treating the diaphragm today a little differently. Remember last time, and I'm just going to point my camera on my belly so that you can see it all. Um, so remember last time we used our fingers, right? And we're going underneath the ribs into that area right under the firmness of your ribs. And then we were just using our body to lean onto the fingers. But first of all, I realize that your fingers may just not be so strong, or maybe it is hard to actually get your body fully connected as you working with the diaphragm. So that's why I wanted to bring back our friend the ball and use it right in the same spot. So importantly, you have your ribs here, right under your chest. And we don't want to put any pressure on the ribs. We also don't want to put any pressure onto these areas up here where you feel a little bit of firmness. We want to always be on the soft tissue, meaning that you got to feel with your fingers that softness of your belly. So the ball is not going on the ribs, it is going into the belly. And we're going to be trying to achieve the same goal, actually help our digestion, help the breathing, help with any sort of anxiety. Sometimes even with vertigo or dizziness, issues with related to those functions of our body that we call autonomic nervous system functions. So those basic functions that help your body go through its processes that ensure our survival. So there can be a lot of trauma, a lot of health tightness and restriction in the diaphragm, because who hasn't had a day where they were somehow really stressed out and could not relax, right? So when we are in that state, and especially if it becomes perpetual, if it becomes constant, our body stops being able to regulate itself. The energy is not going into the cells, the oxygen and nutrition is not going into the cells and organs. The toxins are not being properly disposed of. The air is not coming into our body, so we cannot take a deep breath. The ribs cannot expand. We lose that ability of the internal massage of the ribs that happens when we take deep breaths. So all those functions are absolutely crucially important for your health. So that's why I wanted to go back and treat the diaphragm with the ball today. So remember what we do with the ball. We get on the floor or on the couch, anything that's pretty firmer so you can get that pressure with the ball. Then we make sure that the firmness of the ball is correct. You can take the air out and with your bike pump and a needle attachment with the vent. Or you can put more air if you need more pressure. And remember, getting the ball on your belly is not going to injure anything unless you have had a very recent surgery, like within 6 or 8 weeks, and the scar tissue is not healed yet. But obviously, you know that. So you are safe. Do not put pressure on your ribs. Put pressure on the soft tissue of your belly. So let me take you through a little treatment again for our diaphragm. So we're going to be, and let me remove my cushion here. I forgot about it. And let me point my camera here down on my mat. And as usual, we're just gonna get on our balls. So remember, we're gonna be going right in the middle underneath the ribs. So to demonstrate, and I think you kind of know the deal already, right? But just to demonstrate again, I'm gonna roll onto my ball. And similarly to what we did with the bladder, remember when it was right in the middle? And wow, I'm still on my forearms because I want to go easy and slow. I don't want to just ram into my diaphragm right away. You know, I'm already feeling some tension and like a bit of a nauseous feeling, you know. So I wonder if there's been some stress in my day today, right? And maybe it's wanting to get released. So I'm going to take a few deep breaths. And as I breathe out, I'm softening into my ball. Just allowing myself to slowly roll into it. And to be honest with you today, this sensation is quite intense for me. I feel quite a lot of tension and quite a lot of pressure. And that nauseous sensation is actually a little bit increasing. So I'm staying with that. I'm not going to allow myself to just run away. Oh, I'm feeling nauseous. I probably shouldn't be doing it. Actually, that tells me that my body wants to release some tension and stress from the tissues. And so what I will be doing is just slowly rolling into it. I'm resting my head now on my hands and breathing out. Breathing like I'm breathing onto the ball, allowing my body to be just playing out onto that pressure, allowing myself to feel and experience that nausea, that discomfort, that pressure. I'm actually also feeling this going into my back and the back of my ribs and a bit into my neck. So these are already normal sensations. I'm welcoming them. I'm allowing myself to feel. If something becomes really intense and I start to feel like I am hurting myself with this, I may ease up, get back on my forearms, start again, right? So we're in constant communication, allowing our body to give us feedback. There's no treatment that is set in stone. It's always going to be different. The amount of pressure you want to apply is going to be different each day, each hour, because our life is dynamic. It changes constantly. We go through life experiencing many, many different things in every millisecond. And our conscious brain only remembers 5% of all of that. But our fascial system, our unconscious mind, remembers the 100%. So the biggest change, the biggest transformation that can happen for us as we are on this path of healing is tapping into that 95% of subconscious mind. And how we do that? Through feeling, through getting that pressure in, through eliciting sensations and welcoming them. So, of course, as always, we're going to set up a timer for 5 minutes and stay at least 5 minutes or more. And then, as we're ready, I'm just going to get myself a little bit on my forearms. And of course, I haven't done this entire treatment here because I'm just demonstrating. And I don't want to be making you watch me exploding with the emotion. Although it could be fun. And So as I'm ready, I'm just going to sit up, and you remember kind of rolling yourself a little bit, shaking, everything out. So again, I was just demonstrating for a few minutes. And what I want you to do again today is get on your ball, practice your diaphragm release, and feel all the sensations. Do not escape that. Use that as a time of connection with that 95% of your body's wisdom, all that is subconsciously being held in your body, because that is the path of healing. And this is the path of actually taking charge and taking control of any chronic pain or any limitations that we have in our lives. So we'll see you tomorrow, and let me know how it's all going for you. I cannot wait to hear. Bye-bye.